Tonight, our special coverage on Israel's war on Palestine as Israel continues its airstrikes in Gaza. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Zahra Sayed. The Palestinian Ministry of Health reports that Israeli strikes have killed 390 Palestinians and left 734 injured in the past 48 hours in the Gaza Strip. Israeli forces targeted multiple areas overnight, including Nuseirat, Deir al-Balah, Khan Yunis, and Rafah. A strike on a home in Jabalia killed 16 members of the al-Bursh family. In another incident, the Ministry of Health Director General Munir al-Bursh was critically injured when his sister's house was hit. His daughter was amongst the casualties. 9 more Palestinians lost their lives as Israeli forces bombed a house in the Sheikh Radwan district of Gaza City. Major confrontations between Israeli forces and Palestinian groups are unfolding in several Gaza neighborhoods. An investigation by the New York Times reveals that Israel used powerful 2,000-pound bombs in areas designated as safe for civilians during the first 6 weeks of the war. The death toll from these attacks has now reached over a staggering 20,000 Palestinians, according to the Palestine Media Office. Meanwhile, Hamas's attacks on Israel have claimed nearly 1,140 lives. The United Nations Security Council is set to vote on a resolution concerning Gaza, with a focus on increased humanitarian aid and a suspension of hostilities. The U.S. ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas-Greenfield, announced the agreement, overcoming multiple delays to avoid a U.S. veto. The resolution, initially proposed by the United Arab Emirates, was the subject of intense negotiations to gain U.S. support. The resolution has faced postponements as nations debated the strength of the text. The agreement became possible after the U.S. indicated it will back a watered-down text. The latest draft, seen by journalists, calls for urgent steps to immediately allow safe and unhindered humanitarian access, and also for creating the conditions for a sustainable cessation of hostilities. Some countries pushed for a more robust resolution, while others wanted to include a truce call that was ultimately removed. Turkish security forces have apprehended 304 individuals suspected of having ties to the ISIS extremist group. The Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya announced the operation, codenamed Heroes 34, involving coordinated raids across 32 provinces. Yerlikaya emphasized an unwavering commitment to safeguarding peace, unity, and solidarity, vowing to persistently combat terrorism. Majority of people have been arrested in Istanbul, Ankara, and Izmir. Video footage released by the ministry showcases the intense nature of the raids, with anti-terrorism units forcefully entering premises, handcuffing suspects, and transporting them in police vehicles. This joint effort by police intelligence and the counter-terrorism squad signifies a significant step in the fight against terrorism. As the nation approaches the new year, it is unclear whether these operations are part of heightened security measures. The Director General of the World Health Organization, or the WHO, has made an urgent plea for $185 million in medical aid to address the dire situation in Afghanistan. With an estimated 2.3 million children suffering from moderate malnutrition and 13 million people facing food insecurity in the country, the need is critical. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, the Director General of the WHO, emphasizes that nearly 1 million children are severely malnourished. This puts them at a high risk of infectious diseases, especially in the harsh winter conditions. Limited humanitarian aid delivery compounds the problem, with the potential for these numbers to rise further. Since the Taliban takeover, Afghanistan's economic situation has deteriorated, leaving the population heavily reliant on humanitarian assistance. The European Union has recently pledged 10 million euros to the WHO to support healthcare and combat infectious diseases in Afghanistan. This funding aims to strengthen healthcare across all provinces, benefiting nearly 2 million people, improving disease management and response. A Boeing Dreamliner 787 has touched down in China for the first time in 4 years. The Dreamliner landed in Shanghai on Friday. This marks the initial direct delivery of a Dreamliner to China since 2019. The 787-9 departed from Washington State's Everett Painfield on Thursday. China was a crucial market for Boeing, with about 1/5 of worldwide 737 MAX deliveries destined for China. The halt in orders and deliveries of Boeing planes by China and other countries in 2019 followed the grounding of the profit-making 737 MAX after 2 fatal crashes. The resumption of MAX deliveries could signify a reset in Boeing's relationship with China and lead to a surge in orders. While Boeing has not directly delivered a 787 to China since 2019, they remain prepared to do so, contingent on approval from China's National Development and Reform Commission. Recent high-level talks suggest a potential easing of tensions. Moreover, improved political ties between the United States and China may also boost Boeing's business with Chinese airlines. A 24-year-old student has left the Czech Republic in mourning. He killed 14 people, including his father, and wounded 25 in a mass shooting at Charles University's Faculty of Arts in the capital, Prague. President Petr Pavel has declared December 23rd a day of mourning, with flags at half-mast and a minute's silence at noon to honor the victims. All the victims were killed inside the building. Media reports said at least some of them were the gunman's fellow students. The shooter, an accomplished student with legally owned weapons, was previously unknown to the police. Authorities suspect his act was premeditated, potentially inspired by a terrorist attack in Russia. The police's swift response prevented further tragedy. The gunman's death, likely by suicide, is under investigation. In a gathering marked by unity, faith, and enlightenment, the largest annual gathering of Canadian Muslims, the Reviving the Islamic Spirit, or RIS convention, opened its doors to attendees from far and wide on Friday. The RIS convention provides a platform for Muslim speakers and scholars from around the world to share and discuss the teachings of Islam, bringing attendees closer to religion while fostering renewed intentions. The 3-day event will be hosted at the Metro Toronto Convention Centre. The event will host over 29 sessions and have over 20 distinguished Islamic scholars in attendance to share their wisdom and insights. Some renowned names amongst the attendees include Sheikh Omar Suleiman, Dr. Yasser Qadi, Imam Siraj Wahaj, and many more. Topics of discussion will include Western Muslim experience, addressing the navigation of peace in a chaotic world, the evolving face of Islamophobia, exploring the journey from fear to dehumanization, and providing a young Muslim's guide to the modern world, amongst many more. This year, the event will also include 2 scheduled comprehensive sessions to discuss the ongoing issue of Palestine. Thank you for watching. Our news is produced by Muslim Network TV, which is a not-for-profit organization. We need your support for donations. Please scan the QR code on our broadcast or visit muslimnetwork.tv to donate now, so we can continue to amplify the voices of Muslims in Canada and abroad.